Part 11, VMware by Broadcom. Today we have another time the topic perpetual versus subscription license. Real quick, let's cover what's a perpetual license versus subscription license. So a perpetual license is the license which you buy, and then you have more or less an endless right to use the software within the license boundaries. On top of the perpetual license, you buy something in the VMware terms called SNS, support and subscription. That basically gives you support and product updates and patches and things like that. So the main difference here is that even if you stop paying SNS, you can still continue the product. You are not allowed to upgrade it anymore or anything like that, but you can still continue to use it. Subscription is a different approach. Subscription is like renting a home. You pay a rent for it, and as long as you pay the rent, you are allowed to stay in it and actually use it. The biggest problem with the two different models is more or less just once you would try to get off the platform, because in the subscription model you basically need to pay until the last day. In a perpetual model you could basically decide for yourself that you are going to stay within the license, you are no longer going to update it and actually move your workloads off. You can also maintain the perpetual license for historical archival reasons, which you can't in the subscription model. So you need to also validate that from a legal perspective. How long do untouched systems need to survive in your infrastructure? In general, however, on the perpetual license, in VMware terms, you paid roughly around 30% in SNS anyway, so every 3 to 4 years, you more or less basically rebought the product in the first place. So overall, when you compare that to each other, you were already in a subscription model anyway, and it didn't really matter that much on where you were and how to deal with that. When people were talking about upgrade licenses in the past, these upgrade licenses were typically to move from one license package or solution pack into another one there, because you had SNS, you never needed to pay directly for an upgrade. However, you also needed to be careful in the past with the perpetual license model that if you actually got a good deal on an upgrade into a larger bundle, that very often the license fees were actually, or the SNS fees were reduced for the first 1 to 3 years, and then actually they came up once it came to a new higher renewal. So as always, both systems have their advantages and disadvantages. Most important part, keep in mind, as soon as you switch from perpetual to subscription, you can only use the software as long as you pay for it. Perpetual, you can maintain running it. If you have any further questions on these changes and how they affect you from a VMware perspective, please let me know in the comments, write me a DM, and I'm happy to get back on that.